Ew.
Has it started?
You're an asshole.
Oh, so,
What is happening, guys? Welcome to the Monday after Game Week 26 review. It has been 40 years. 40 years since we started this. We've been wandering the desert. My lights have went out, turned them back on post going live. That's how how long this game week's been. But we're nearly at the end. We've got tonight Chelsea, Man United, and then we've got Man City on Wednesday against West Ham, and then it's over. But who could be the Moses of this metaphor? It's James. Talking
oh,
Loftus. How's it going, buddy?
thanks, man. I rarely am I compared to biblical figures,
Well,
so
it's
I
happening.
appreciate that.
It's happening. And you are
Uh,
our first picture on the stream. How do you feel about that?
yeah, honoured to be here and honoured to be the first picture on your stream. Yeah, the whole thing is an honour. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. I'm doing well. You're right though about this game. I mean, I was clean shaven when this game week started. Let's put it that way. And now look, at me, I'm like Castaway.
You're like Moses. Well, I don't know.
I'm
I
like, I
cast.
am. I am. Give me a staff, and
Yeah,
it would be uncanny.
and some god powers like
The ability to part the sea would
yeah,
be
part the
helpful. Yeah.
sea, walk on the sea potentially. Although I think that was his
I
other
don't think I
son.
don't think Moses walked on the sea. I think you're thinking of Jesus there.
Whatever, it's all the same. God is everyone,
Well,
right?
I guess you get
All
really.
right, we're going off on a huge tangent. Let us start with announcements. First announcement, first up. I love you, James.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
That's
This
the
is
announcement.
this is the first time you've said this to me, so it's uncomfortable. I could have just been
um,
like, I love the idea of you to, one of those
um,
get.
the announcement is that I love you so much that I've moved you on to my more popular streaming day of Monday from now
Yeah,
until forever.
which is gonna ruin the popularity of your most popular streaming day.
No, we thought that because obviously me and James just have that thing and it works. But whenever we stream on Thursdays, it's got like a shelf life of a day and a half for anyone who is tuning in after the stream. So we thought we'll move it to Monday and we'll swap it about. So from now until infinity, and maybe beyond, you're going to be on Monday,
But
except
not
for
next
when,
week.
except
But
for
not
next
next
week.
week.
Where the
Yeah,
fuck are you
yeah.
going next week?
Yeah, I'm going to Italy next week on holiday, which is like an actual holiday. The last I went to Brussels last month, but I was working in Brussels.
Right.
This time it's like a proper holiday, so I won't be able to stream. I'm not even going to be looking for Wi-Fi, Dave. That sums up how relaxed I'm
Wow.
going to be. I won't even be asking cafes for their Wi-Fi codes.
Is that a standard
I'm
for
going to be
you?
in proper relaxation mode, learning about the history of Pompeii. I'm excited.
I'm so jealous of you.
But I'm
I'm
going to
so
miss
jealous.
this. I'm going to miss this.
Yeah, getting drunk, chatting to strangers on stream,
I
chatting to
mean,
me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna, I'll be watching, you know, you, and if you manage to find a guest,
I will find a guest. People will die to get on this stream, mate. You don't have no idea how popular this is.
I can
Oh my
imagine. I can
god.
imagine. I mean, the things that you made me do to get on here,
Okay,
I'm all
so
too aware.
I'm moving on from you. That's us. We're done. Um, we'll figure out what we're doing next week. But from hopefully for most Mondays, you're going to be hearing now from the future on that as the announcement. Thank you everyone who's showing up live. We have loads of people in there. Daft is here. He's already done his. I think he did it early, didn't he? He hosted me early. It's Roz here. Bricky, Liam, Sawsington's here. Wow, it's been a long time, my man. Holly's in the stream chat, which is always nice.
Hey,
Um, and I'm sure that she's literally just said she could step in on Monday. So there you go. We'll have Holly in.
oh,
There we
here we
go.
go. Look,
You just said
Holly,
I hope.
any chance she gets, she's right in
I
there.
love that you've been like, if you could find a guest, and then one appeared in the
I know, man. It's
chat.
so true.
So yeah, we'll do that. There you go, sorted. Don't even have to Google anything.
I mean,
Um,
that's just not any guest either. I mean, shit,
I
Holly,
know she's actually
that's
like
that's,
really big
that's a
in the
premium
community.
guest. That is a premium guest.
All right, second announcement for everyone who's been talking to me about it and messaging me and blah blah blah. Everyone who's behind the scenes, thank you so much. I have finally managed to build a Slack channel. Now, it is still in beta, still in testing, but it's basically just a place where we can all have a bit of a moan and a bit of a laugh. And it means I can chat to you guys without having to go on my phone at work, which is the main thing. So me and James are going to be kind of regular on here. And we need a couple of testers, basically. That is the announcement. We're going to have a Slack channel, but we need your help. If you guys want to come on and just test it for like a couple of weeks, then DM me. You can find my Twitter details if you do !Twitter in the chat, or just follow links and shit. You know where I am. But I would love some testers. So if you want to test it, DM me. James is already going to be there. He didn't have to DM me. I kind of messaged him. And yeah, so you can see in front of you, I'll go into the big view mode. We've got chat and shite for just, casual chat. Memes, of course.
Memes, yeah.
What were you going to say?
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, I was gonna say chatting shite is where most of the conversation will take place, I imagine.
Of course.
Because most of the stuff that is talked about in our circles is shite.
It's not just exactly. It's not just chat. It's chat and shite. That's where you go.
Yeah.
And then game week 27, you've got your fixtures, you got your captain polls, all the usual stuff. Interesting stats, which I like the idea of.
Love that.
Player comparisons, and we can nick some stuff off Fantasy Football Scout and stuff, and then just streams and things. And that's all I've got. So any ideas, anything, blah blah blah, just let me know. Okay.
Captaincy poll.
Yeah, that's in. That's already, mate. You missed it. That is
in there. Sorry.
We're there. Okay. I'm glad you're paying attention.
I'm like, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. Sorry.
All right. And that's all the announcements. How was your game week? How did your captaincy go this week, James?
Okay, you know how it went, Dave. I captained Salah. So like most people, I think over 2 million managers captained Salah in game week 26. So I had a week of hope, and the hope was dashed against Norwich. As someone who likes to see Norwich win, it was quite an exciting game to watch, and I didn't feel too aggrieved. Like, Salah didn't play well. I think that's important. Salah had a bad game.
Right. Okay.
He didn't. I don't know if he had a shot. He was poor. So it didn't feel like I was robbed. It wasn't like he was missing sitters or anything like that, which of course we know Salah is prone to. Mm-hmm. It felt like Norwich deserved to keep Salah quiet, and they did very, very well in keeping him quiet. So I don't feel too aggrieved by it. I'm having a bad week though. As you can see right here, I'm on 39 points, which is a game week rank of about 3.5 million. But I've only got De Bruyne left. So, and everyone's got De Bruyne, and a lot of people have more than De Bruyne still to play. So my game week rank is not going to rise substantially now. A tough week for me. Lundstram, I'm bitter about the fact that Lundstram isn't going to come off the bench, to be honest with you, because my bench always do well when none of them actually come off. It was frustrating given the fact that we thought the postponement was gonna take the Man City game outside of game week 26.
No.
Pill to swallow there. But mate, let's talk about you, because I know you're sat here listening to me thinking, I've got a Aguero captain.
Buddy.
Waiting in the wings. You've already got more points than me. You're on for a very good week again, mate.
Points 44. And we've got Aguero captaincy, like you said, and De Bruyne, like you said. I'm kind of annoyed a little bit about my midfield. They've just, look at how shit that is. Salah, Moy didn't do anything. Traore, I actually benched Traore for Moy, and that was the correct decision. And it was an accident. I actually forgot to do it. So
classic.
It's just, it's
but you've only got 3 midfielders playing, so like 2 of your midfielders are blanked, yes, but you've still got a third of your midfield to play.
Mm-hmm. Aubameyang finally came good, so that's 10 points in 2 games, not bad. He's got a better fixture next week, and then Aguero's coming along hopefully nicely. We don't know yet. I would love to be sitting here on Thursday and just fucking hat trick. But if he gets even if he gets 1 goal, I'll be okay with that. Just 1, just a captaincy, not blank. Like, I'll return.
I mean, what a huge... I mean, to be honest with you, though, even as it stands at the moment, most people have De Bruyne, so like you can rule De Bruyne's points out. But even Aguero, like if he scores 4 points, if he gets an assist, I mean that's going to be 8 points, 8 points above the average, you'd think, because I don't think many people have got Aguero captained. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, not that many. I'd say maybe 10% of managers.
I think it's 800,000.
So it's
around about 10%. So I got a green arrow, went up to 6, just under 700k, and you're sitting at a nice. Actually, was very impressed. See, overall rank 181k. So we're not doing too badly. Our average is about 400k.
Yeah. It's a red arrow for me. I was at 150 prior to this game week, so it's hard because I think the thing is that the first Saturday of the game week, which was 7 years ago, I had Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who of course scored and got an assist.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was really high up. I was at about 110 at one point this game week. So to now see myself on a red arrow is a bitter pill to swallow,
That's
given
quite
the likes of
funny.
Jimenez and Vardy and Aurier and Rico, and it's been a little bit disappointing. Yeah.
I mean, imagine I said to you on Saturday, like, oh, Calvert-Lewin, sorry, pre-Saturday, you're like, yes, Calvert-Lewin, you're on cloud nine, and I go, mate, only two other players on your team are going to return,
Exactly.
and one of them
Exactly.
is a blank captaincy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Exactly.
actually
And
overhead
that's what's
Alexander
happened.
Arnold, and I'm assuming it's a De Bruyne return against West Ham, but I'm giving you that one as a given. But like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just never
oh,
know, though, do you? And actually, I would say don't count your chickens too soon, Dave, because
me,
West Ham. If there's one thing we know about West Ham, is that they turn up against the top six.
fuck them. I
Not
don't
against
give a
Man
shit.
City, though, really, do they? They don't really turn up against Man City.
No,
They
Man
like
City
a
like
London
them.
derby. They like a London
That's true.
derby,
If
but
it was
they don't
Spurs or
necessarily like.
something, I know they love
Yeah.
Spurs.
Yeah.
I'm looking at yours. I'm trying to find mine. Right, here we go. Fantasy Weekly. Just as a Holly, if you're still in the chat, this is for you. So matches, we go down here. This is the classic Fantasy Weekly pod. Oh, by the way, I'll be hosting it next week. I'm just
You
announcing
will.
that now because you're
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
gonna be off, so I'll host. I'll do the
Yeah.
bar chat.
We're
Um,
recording immediately after this after this stream, aren't we,
mhm,
Dave? So
yeah.
it's a long evening for us. But yeah, you excited?
I'm very excited. I do this every week. This is a new one for you coming in on the Monday. So yeah. Anyway, Holly
You're right.
versus
Yeah.
me this week. Right. Holly's on 50, and she
Uh-huh.
has De Bruyne
She's got
to play,
she's got the broad. Yeah,
and
yeah,
I have 44, and I've got De Bruyne and Aguero. If Aguero
yeah,
even returns once,
yeah,
that sees me.
yeah.
Now this is for you on 21 points against your 22 from coming back from the shit that I've been through all year
Mhm.
to being 1 point behind you.
But
Oh,
it's interesting though how luck works, Dave. I don't want to get too philosophical here, but like, there is like at the moment you can't do any wrong. Like you're having a really, really great streak.
hmm,
And it's long overdue. But there was this sense to me prior to the game week starting where I just thought the decisions that Dave makes are gonna pay off for him. And
eventually.
we had that postponement. It all looked completely bleak for you last
Yeah,
week, and now here you are.
just big stoner. Do you know what a stoner is?
I've got no idea.
Is there any Scottish people in the chat that knows what a stoner is? That's really funny. I might not even tell you guys what it is. You're just gonna have to Google that shit. You could probably guess though, right? I'm standing here with a big stoner.
Oh, like an erection.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done
It wasn't
it.
that hard when you phrased it like that.
Oh no, it was. Bam. He's in there.
Stoner. Oh yeah, here we are. Little Johnny, Urban Dictionary. The teacher called Little Johnny to go up to the blackboard. Little Johnny refused because he was taking a raging stoner.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do
There
it.
you go.
So shall we do questions? We'll do FPL FAQ. Hashtag FPL FAQ, might I add. And it basically loads of people asked us questions. We decided to do questions themed this week. What was our theme?
Our theme was it was based on the Man United Chelsea game, which is happening in 12 minutes time.
Classic.
The theme was shite players we might be keeping for too long, which
Correct.
was you conceived of that idea, Dave, and I thought it was fantastic.
Thanks very much. See me after class.
I will.
So we'll just do the questions because I could talk all day about what my transfer plans are and the blank plans and stuff, but I feel like we'll get into all that if we just do the questions.
Let's go. We had a great response to this tweet actually, and some really, really great, thoughtful questions. One of which we'll start with from fplmerch.com. fplmerch.com. You're going to watch this tomorrow, I know. I owe you a DM. I know we're chatting. I know I've been slack, but I'll DM you. He says, with scores from the likes of Son, Aubameyang, and Grealish, should we be paying more attention to the talisman theory? Or was this weekend just a case of good players at playing against poor defensive units? What a great question that is.
Yeah, and we'll start off with James. James, what do you think?
Actually, yeah, Dave's response was, dude, wow, what a fucking question. James can answer this one.
Yeah, because I don't
Yeah,
have any of those players.
Yeah, and neither do I actually.
Well, I
You've
thought you
got
had
Aubameyang,
Grealish, no?
please. You've got Aubameyang.
Oh yeah, sorry, Aubameyang. I do have
Yeah,
Aubameyang.
I don't have Grealish or Aubameyang or Son. I would like them all, obviously, especially after a week like this week. To answer the question, though, the talisman theory. For those who don't know, it's the idea that you pick the. It doesn't necessarily need to be a good team, but you pick the key player from that team. I would firstly say that I don't think that Son or Aubameyang are the talismans in Spurs
Hmm.
or Arsenal, respectively. Grealish is certainly the talisman for Aston Villa, but I would argue that Son and Aubameyang are. They're part of a talismanic trio, maybe, of players
Hmm.
who that team depends on, but they're not a talisman in the way that Grealish is. To be honest with you, when you look at the games individually, you look at the Aston Villa versus Spurs game, for example. Grealish's assist came from a corner. Obviously Grealish is on corners, and so it's that's
Yeah.
a big part of why people have him. But it's quite a fortunate assist. The XA on that is not particularly high. Son's missed a penalty, obviously followed in with a rebound. His second goal, I don't know if you've seen it, Dave, but whilst it was very very well taken, it was only possible because of a terrible defensive error
Oh, I've
at the
seen
back
that.
from. So I think FPL Merch's hunch here that perhaps these players look better because they had such favourable fixtures is probably correct. The
Yeah.
only thing that I would say is that Grealish, when you watch him, Grealish is involved in everything that Villa does, and Villa have never been shy of a goal. Yes, they haven't been winning games, but they've often scored in games, and so I think of all of those, Grealish is the most talismanic and probably at the moment the best value for money as well.
All
What
right.
do you think? What do you think,
Fucking
Dave?
concur. Although I would say that I wouldn't want to own anyone but Son unless it was the new guy Bergwijn, just because of how cheap he is. But in
You
terms
mean
of
in
like,
that Spurs side?
yeah, yeah, from Spurs side,
Yeah.
Aubameyang is the only person I would probably want to own just now from Arsenal, and I do own him. But the blanks are coming up, so it's not really worth talking about. However, his fixtures, and I'll show you in the fixtures and the screen. West Ham, Brighton, Southampton, Norwich. So like Pepe, for example, is good. Saka, we really wish he was a defender because that would have been amazing. Like he would be like someone to watch, but because he's like reverse out of position, it's kind of shite.
Mhm.
But like you said, Aubameyang's not like the dude. Um, However, he is kind of like the one I would want the most. In
Mhm.
saying that,
Agree.
he's been on like wing back and shit, right? He's been working really, really hard on the left hand side. He's been watching Saka's role when Saka they kind of switch and they do that whole thing. So even he is a bit rubbish to own right now. I know he got his header and I know he got his 2 points, but I felt very uh, lucky, I would say. I was watching the whole game and I was like, I haven't really seen him in the box. And whenever he is in the box, in the first half at least, whenever he was in the box, they weren't trying to get the ball to him. And then the second half, he managed to get his header. But other than that, they were passing it to Nikita or Lacazette when he came on. Even he passed the ball to Saka with that amazing nutmeg. So it was him that passed it to him. So that means he was behind
Yeah, he
the
was
play.
fantastic. Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
was behind. Aubameyang was behind the play and then let Saka go. And I want Saka. I want to
Mhm.
have Saka at that point. I don't want Aubameyang. He's just too much money. So I'm probably gonna get rid of him. It kind of helps with the blank things. Son on the other hand, he's not blanking and he's playing out of position and he's on penalties and he's on corners. I think was he taking corners?
I don't know. I
I
didn't
think
actually
he
watch the
was.
game.
I think he was taking corners. So yeah, fucking mental. Just like
Yeah,
he's on
yeah,
everything, and
yeah.
they've been playing so shit. Like even Mourinho came out and said in their FA Cup game against Southampton, like, "Oh, the best team lost," and that's resonated with me. Planet FPL, we've talked about this before. He was like, "Oh, don't pick our players. We're shite." Everyone went for Son anyway, and somehow came out with like fucking 4 goals in 3 games. It's so
Yeah,
hard to watch, and now it's
yeah.
just me thinking here, sitting like, maybe I should just fucking bring him in. Maybe I just bring him in. Because then it'll be the third time I brought him in too, which is so annoying. First time I was like, sure he was going to do well. He had great fixtures and they blanked all. And it was like a big Pochettino, like, oh, is he going, blah, blah, blah thing, I think. Or it was just after. But like it was
Mhm.
it was annoying. And then second time brought him in, he got a red card. And then will this time work? Do you know what I mean? But
Sure, sure, sure. But listen, I mean, we've always known, and I don't want to be this guy, but I am going to be this guy. Like a few weeks ago, I tweeted about Son, and I got so much abuse for it. The thing is with Son is that he is, everyone knows this. This is the thing with Son. Everyone knows this. He's he's just such a good player. Like I would say one of the best attackers in the league.
Yeah.
That it's just it's so easy to forget him in FPL. And when he got suspended in early January, he was off everyone's radars. But like Son is always capable of scoring a brace. I would say every single game, like Son has it in him to score a brace. And so like you can't be too surprised and frustrated when he does that, because that is like he's a great player. Like he's always done this. He's always been really, really good.
I guess non-owners can be lucky that he missed the penalty too. Because he would have had like 16 points or some shit.
Absolutely. That's very true. My opinion of Son is that he's always going to be brilliant. Whether he converts those brilliant performances into FPL points is the question. I think for 10 million, he's still a bit of a gamble. The other thing, of course, though, is that how many other midfielders are there in that kind of sub 11 million bracket who you actually want these days?
Yeah.
That's
the thing. We went through the whole midfield, right? If I show you the midfield right on now, you'll be like, don't want. Everyone's got.
Exactly.
Don't want. The only person you want really is Salah, Mane, De Bruyne, and Son, and maybe not even De Bruyne. Loads of people in the chat. Liam's like, I want to do Kevin De Bruyne to Son for game week 28 and beyond. Give me a reason not to do it. There is not really any reason not to do it, unless Kevin De Bruyne goes mental and you bought him at 9 million or 9.5 million, whatever it was when he started. There isn't really a point that I would say you shouldn't do it, because he's got better fixtures and he's playing like all the reasons why we said. Daffs is in the chat. He said he's done it already. He got rid of Kevin De Bruyne. He went for Mane, but it's still the point. Like keeping De Bruyne with the blank coming up, the bad fixtures coming up, and the turmoil, the unrelenting questions of, are they just going to be performing in the Champions League and not the league? Like we can't answer that, but to even keep him in there for a long period of time when we don't know what De Bruyne is doing, I'm gonna keep him just fucking pure, unadulterated stubbornness. But that's just me. It just makes it easier.
Yeah, and obviously we do have this now, this 75% prospect of a double game week for De Bruyne coming up in game week 29, which does, I mean, it's obviously it precedes a blank, which makes it very awkward. But there is this sense now that, well, maybe De Bruyne's value has increased now that we know that he could have a double game week within the next 3 game weeks, which is quite. I mean, the idea of having De Bruyne for a double game week is incredibly exciting, and the idea of not having him is anus clenching. So.
I've just put it up on the screen. Funny you mentioned that. We were going to go into that. But yeah, I just realized in the chat, FPL mode is here, or teach mode, as it were.
Yeah.
And a few other guys. FL Bricky is here as well. Sonaldo, I fucking hate that. Everyone puts Analdo on the on the end of any players doing well at the current time. Him and
it works,
Aldo.
It wouldn't work with Chris Wood.
Would Aldo? Fucking yes, it does. Yes, it does. It always will work. Teach mode says Edison for a double game week. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind it. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it, with Man City, because they don't. You look at Liverpool at the moment and you see, okay, they've conceded 1 goal in the last 10 games. Man City, of course, haven't been great on the clean sheets. There is a chance, of course, that Ederson will be on penalties, in which case
that'll be amazing. It can't not be Aguero. Aguero hasn't missed any. I don't know how he lost it. And he lost it because he was off. He had like a little bit of an injury, so they're like, right, we'll let Fernandinho take it. He fucked it, and then Aguero got back, and it was like, oh no, you're not on them anymore. He must have been like, what the fuck?
For sure.
No, Ederson lives over there. I'm a striker. Why would I let? That's me channeling my inner Aguero ownership. But yeah, no.
Yeah, for sure. No, man, you were.
Did you feel that? I felt that in me. Anyway, the Man City thing. The issue, obviously, is that like, we want to try and get Man City players out. I've got like transfer plans. I'm going to use his money wisely. I'm going to upgrade like to Doherty or Azpilicueta or someone for game week 28. I'm going to move. I can do Hayden to Barnes and then Stevens to Doherty and Aguero to Vardy for game week 28. Like, I could do that right now. I've got 3 transfers between now and then, but I don't want to do that if they're going to be playing a double. It's going to be fucking shit. I'm going to have Aguero, get rid of him for a blank instead of benching him, and then I'll have a Aubameyang instead of Aguero, and they're having a double. Although if he says here a 20% chance that Man City versus, this is Ben Crellin's Twitter, by the way. If you don't follow him, fucking deal with that. 20% chance that Man City versus Arsenal's moved to game week 29, so that might be okay to keep Aubameyang, but it's still going to be really annoying. Shall we do Teach Mode's question on Twitter? Have you got that around?
Hang on a minute. Let me have a quick look. Here we are. Yeah. He said, "Gonna try and tune in just to hear your lovely Irish voice."
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Grealish. Stick with the talisman, and again, it's this word talisman coming up, or ditch due to blank and tough fixtures. This is a great question, very topical at the moment.
Yeah, he is erect at us even mentioning that we're answering his question. No, what do we do? Because I know we talked about it before, but if you had Grealish right now and there was a blank coming up, and you could go for Barnes, you probably got a couple of maybe $1 million stuck in him or $500,000 or whatever. What would you actually do?
It's so hard to say because there's a reason why I don't own Grealish, and it's because I've never had. I've got a huge amount of faith in his ability, but not in Villa's ability. So the reason I'm not on him is because I don't believe in his future potential to return. So that question's easy for me because I would get rid of him, obviously, because I don't own him. So it's hard to be objective about it. I suppose if he was in my team. And it would be hard. It would be hard to remove him because the thing is with Grealish is that because he's on corners, because he's so capable of that individual spark of brilliance, it makes him somewhat fixture proof. He doesn't. He's not tied down by. He doesn't only excel against poor teams. He does. He's resourceful in the way that he scores his points, and so I wouldn't necessarily be put off by bad fixtures. The question, of course, is, can you replace him for a better value player? And I think that's the question you need to ask yourself. Is there another player in that price bracket who can score like Grealish is scoring at the moment?
Yeah.
And I would say not reliably, no. I would say Adama Traore is your closest bet. Yeah, of course, he's
Barnes,
back now
potentially.
From injury, but Barnes.
How much is Thingy just now?
Well, Barnes is a forward though, but I'm talking like for like.
What? No, Barnes. Leicester.
Oh, sorry, Harvey Barnes. Sorry, I thought you meant Ashley. I always gravitate to Ashley. Sorry, man. Yeah, Harvey Barnes is a good shout.
Ashley Barnes is dead. Is he?
Yeah,
not?
I was going to say I thought that was such a bizarre.
David, you're losing it. I've got Aston Villa's fixtures up. So you said fixtures don't matter, right? But Leicester, Chelsea, then Newcastle, Wolves, Liverpool, Manchester United, then Crystal Palace, Everton, Arsenal.
Yeah, okay, they're bad, but actually
they're fucking horrible.
But if you break those down,
okay,
Leicester haven't been that defensively resolute, and it's. I mean, that'll be a hard fixture.
Yeah, because Chowdhury's got a red card, right? So Leicester are now playable.
Chelsea at home has always been a fine fixture. Defensively, Chelsea on the road have never. They don't have a history of being solid defensively. Grealish again is a type of player that can exploit. He is. I do believe that he has some fixture proof to him. Newcastle, obviously Newcastle. Wolves at home again.
That's not bad, is it?
It's not that bad. Liverpool away is hard. Man United again. I would maybe say Crystal Palace is a harder defensive fixture than Man United.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Away I would agree, not at home. Crystal Palace at home is fine, but is it Selhurst Park? Is that their fucking park? I'll mix the parks together. But Crystal Palace is, when they're at home, is difficult. This is a home for Aston Villa, so I don't think it would be that bad.
Yeah, you're right. But I think the colours are probably worse than the reality there.
Yeah, true.
When it comes to those fixtures, and Grealish is Grealish. Grealish has the talent.
But Teach Mode says in the chat he's planning on getting Jimmy in because he sees him as more of he's a better option because he doesn't blank in both game weeks. But I just wanted to show you guys this.
Who does he mean? Jimenez?
Jimenez. Did I say Jimenez? Yeah. I'm so sorry, mate.
No, you just said Jimmy.
Oh, did I? Right.
Well, that's how Teach spelt it.
Yeah, no, Jimmy. I kind of have to call him Jimmy. I'll take right. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing in my life? What do I just say? Wolves fixtures. There we go. right? I just want to show you guys this because it is very important, right? We need to remember that they're playing Europa League, okay? So 0-0 draw, and then they play Europa League on Thursday. Then they play Norwich 3 days later, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then 4 days later, they play Espanyol again away. So that's traveling away to Spain. And then they're away to Tottenham on the Sunday. And then they've got Brighton and then Wolves. And if they get through with Espanyol, then they'll have more fucking things like in between those two games. Yeah. And then if they play through that again, then they'll have more games in between. So like it's there's going to be so many fixtures for them. And I know they didn't rotate at the start of the season, but it is something to consider. Like, I think they're going to beat Espanyol. They're going to continue to have European football to deal with. If they're safe in the league, which we know they are, and they're not really pushing for that much of a place right now, then I don't think they're going to be too bothered about benching some of their players. So I would watch that. Having said that, I do want to bring some of them in, but it is something to pay attention to. Like, Norwich is not a good fixture, I don't think, because it's smack bang in the middle of two important European games.
Yeah, it's a good point. And actually, I would say, although Wolves' results weren't that significantly affected by their European involvement kind of in the first half of the season,
it will be.
The prolificness of their goal scoring and the kind of, the look and feel of their performances was definitely affected. You could see the fatigue. They would scrape victories, but they wouldn't walk victories like they have done in the last 5 or 10 games. So I think, they are. I think you're absolutely right to keep an eye on that, and I think it's something that you should consider when you're looking at the likes of Bolly and Jimenez and Traore. They're all popular at the moment, but they are resting with European involvement.
All right, let's do a fun one. We've been talking about proper FPL chat for so long now. I want to do a shit one. Okay, so we've got Liam here.
I was going to say Liam's the one to go to.
Liam's
definitely.
Got it. Which are the shite FPL assets on trend? Would you want to have sex with them most? So let's just discern what a shite. Are we just shite players like that we know, not ones that are out of form or anything, right? Just shite ones.
Yeah. I guess just shite ones.
So like Danny Drinkwater, god awful, off in 59 minutes.
Yeah, these are. I suppose these are the players that you'd want in your anti-FPL team. So they have to play. Like we don't want bench fodder. We want playing players who are just bad when it comes to FPL. I know who mine would be.
Sawsington, thank you so much for the absolute amazing Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate that, buddy. 3 months in a row. Thank you, man.
Love that. Isn't it free as well? Can you do that for free?
Three months. It's free. Oh, thank you very much. Great segue, mate. If you have Amazon Prime, you could subscribe on Twitch for free. You just link up your Amazon Prime and you chuck me £2.50 when you do that. It's fucking amazing. Thanks, buddy.
That's quality.
It's quality.
£1.25.
I'm still waiting on your... No, I already halved it. It's actually a £5.
Oh, right. Okay, nice. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
I'm still waiting on your dad's one, though. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. What's he playing at?
I know. Fucking Mr. Copeland. Right. Who are you shagging?
Guendouzi.
Why?
No, why? I just think everything about him is he's I don't know. He's just or David Luiz. I think it's the hair. To be honest,
you like the afro, don't you? That's it.
I like something to grab. So
hold on. Liam has just said in the chat he thinks that I will pick El Neni, but El Neni is not fucking shite. Okay, he's one of the best goddamn. He's FPL asset. Why even bring him up? I can't believe you've done that to me, Liam. Iron says Phil Bardsley would throw you about like a ragdoll. I know you could pick Traore and just get absolutely pummeled into the wall.
Giroud's a good shout as well.
Giroud is a really, really hot piece of ass.
I'd be intimidated by his.
I think so.
I feel like I wouldn't. I feel like I need someone
just
who
look at him though.
Who I could see on like a night out in Norwich, and do you know what I mean? Like David Luiz wouldn't look out of place in a Norwich nightclub, whereas like Giroud, like everyone would gravitate to him. That would intimidate me a bit.
Think so, because everyone would want a piece of him. So you think, oh no, I'm not going to get in there, so I'm not even going to try it with Giroud.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love that even in a hypothetical, you're still like, they must have standards. They won't go for me.
I've got to think
I need
about my
them
own
to be having a good time. Yeah. Right, who would I pick? You know what? Giroud is a really good shout now because I would want them to be beautiful. Like I would want
Is
them
he
to
even
be.
an FPL asset though? Like I want, yeah, I don't
You mean
know.
like an FPL asset that people are considering?
And, well, as in at least someone who
Um,
plays most games.
right.
Whereas Giroud,
What about
like,
Zuma so I can just fucking hurt him? I like that idea because he's shite and he's hurt me
that's
in the past. He's fucked me in the ass before, and this would just
that's
be revenge.
that's such a violent answer. But effectively, you would rape Zuma as opposed to having
No, I
consensual
just would
sex
make it
with
rough.
Giroud.
I didn't say he didn't consent.
But you
You are now
but you
concerning me, mate.
but you would want to cause him pain.
Oh, yeah, no, I would. I think it would
Okay.
hurt. He'd
Yeah,
bite. He
fair.
would be biting something. Iron says James is clearly a very generous lover, and he respects you. And then It's Raw has thrown in Andy Carroll into the mix. I think Andy Carroll's been through enough.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been through the
Andy
ringer.
Carroll's going to miss the target, isn't he? So where's he going to go? That's the thing. I don't want my armpit being abused. But
I know I told you that you were going to read the questions out, but I think it's just easier to show them on stream, isn't it? Especially
yeah,
this
yeah,
question.
yeah.
We're moving on. Thank
This
you,
needs a
Liam.
visual. Yeah.
This needs visuals. Thank you, Liam, very much for the question. Keep them coming, mate. Keep them weird. FPL Shiny might be in the chat, might not. He's a frequent stream flyer. Which of the following recent sequences to the last match played surprised you the most? So Vardy's got 2 blank blank 5 0 1 2 2. Madison has got a bunch of 2s and 1s with 1 11. Sterling 3 1 blank 2 3 1. Ali, loads of things kind of similar to Madison, and then a 13 in there. And then Gomez 5 8 5 8 6 6 6 2 6 6 8. It's a fucking mobile number. What do you think?
Yeah, good question. Great question, this. I love it. I think, obviously, personally, the thing that surprised me the most is Vardy because he's the one that I've kept. You know, I don't own any of the others now. I've got rid of them all. So that would be. But obviously, Gomez also needs a mention. I mean, Gomez he came back into the team 10 games ago, Dave.
Yep.
They've conceded 1 goal in that time.
Yep.
1 goal. That partnership with Van Dijk is working. 1 goal in 10 games, phenomenal. It was Raul Jimenez who scored the goal, so it barely even counts because
Did you have him?
Jimenez scored against everyone. I think I did own him at a time, actually. Yeah,
that was decent. Wasn't it?
A rare win for me. And so I would say they're both of those two. I think he's bookended the surprises there, but surprising in different ways, aren't they? Because obviously one is a complete failure, the other is an unexpected success.
Yeah, bookended. That's got to be shouted, by the way. What a fucking phrase. Bookended them. That's great. Gomez. Do you own Gomez?
I don't own him. No, I know you do.
Yeah.
I don't own him.
Oh, you've still got Mane. You kept Mane.
I've got Mane, Salah. Yeah.
I don't mind that. That's fine. Okay, cool. Because if you didn't, then that's Gomez, isn't it? Because we were talking about this on the wild card. For those that are new to the FPL Dave's life, I didn't do my wild card that much. Like James and Holly kind of took over, and Mark had a wee swatch, but he was kind of leaving the pod he picked the fucking worst time to leave, to be honest with you. But it was honestly, it was just Gomez was like third on the sheet. Like you pick your Liverpool players and you move on, and it was always Gomez. Because if you put Manny in, he was injured at the time, there's no point. But if you had Manny in, it just takes away so much potential from the team. So most people have Gomez when they wildcarded, and rightly so. I don't think that he is in. Like, why would you change that as Klopp to Lovren unless you're going to be rotating most? You wouldn't
unless
do it.
His injury.
Yeah, he's just too good, and their partnership needs to grow. And the fact that everyone's been injured except for him is gonna. Where the fuck are you going?
Sorry, I really need a wee. So,
all right, we're going for a walk.
So I broke the seal. So whilst you continue.
Okay. No, that's it. I mean, Gomez. So which of the following reasons would surprise me the most? I would say Madison. Madison surprised me the most, lads, because although Vardy, what must go up, must come down, but Madison hasn't really been like so mental that he's been scoring every week and then just nothing. It's really been like a goal and then maybe 2 assists and then nothing and then nothing, then nothing, then a goal, then nothing and then an assist. But he is blanked most of the time. However, I was considering getting him back. So while James is away, I'm going to show you what my potential transfers are. So if I go into full screen mode, you can see there that Madison's in my watch list as my 10-player watch list. To get Aguero out and to get Vardy back in, which is hilarious considering we're doing a question on how shite he's been, but to bring him back, it just fills me with joy. Like, look at this. Leicester, Game week 29 to game week. Let's do that again. Hold on. Game week 28. Sorry, because he's not blanking, and that's when I would be bringing him in for Aguero. We can hear that, James. That's disgusting. I'm kidding. I think that's your. You've showed me that before. That's your sink, innit?
Hey, man.
I think we heard you flush.
Well, you probably did, yeah.
Oh, did we? Oh well.
At least you know that I'm a flusher.
That's true. Although
the alternative would have been worse. If it had just been silent, then you would have been thinking, "Oh well, that's just sitting there now."
So I'm just showing the lads Leicester's fixtures: Norwich, Aston Villa, Watford, Brighton, Everton, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Sheffield, Tottenham. From game week 28 to game week 37. It's Raw asked you, did you clean your hands? And you've typed, I did. You were waiting for it too.
Yeah, I did. And actually, I thought maybe they'll hear if the tap don't go off. So the tap's actually in my room, so I can,
maybe that's what it was. I think we've had this topic before off stream. So yeah, Leicester assets. It's weird that they're blanking, but even still, I'm considering bringing them in. So that's my plan is to go Vardy. And then not Maddison. I could do Maddison, but it means I would need to downgrade Stevens to Bolly. So I could do this. So I could do Bolly and then bring in Barnes. And that is, I've got 1.3 remaining. And then that would me only have 3 blanking players for game week 28, which is more than reasonable. And I would be playing, Williams, Bolly, Gomez, Alexander-Arnold, Salah, obviously, Barnes, Traore, Moy, Ings, and Vardy. That's a fairly decent lineup, I would say. Or I could, instead of getting not Barnes, sorry, Maddison, and I would have enough money if Vardy drops one more time, which I think he will.
I like Barnes a lot though. I like Barnes a lot at the moment.
But yeah, no, if I go Barnes, it means that I can upgrade Bolly to Azpilicueta or Dockery. Now I actually really like Azpilicueta as a punt.
Do you think that he's I don't feel like he's a preferable option to Bolly. Would you consider that an upgrade?
But I think that Chelsea are fighting for like a top 4 finish, and I kind of want a fighting team to end the season out, and they have better fixtures.
It's just so unlike him. I mean, I know that you've got this 11 and 12 points that he scored in the middle there, but other than that, his Azpilicueta's points are pretty much always 2 or 1.
I know. I think maybe he'll be decent. I mean, obviously I could go Dockery and that would be fine, and I would look like this. But it's just that fucking Dockery will be rotated, and I don't think Azpilicueta will. That's all it is.
I think Bolly is pound for pound the best value. Wolves asset going.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily think you need to upgrade to Doherty there. Doherty's attacking returns haven't been what they have been in previous seasons, and I think that 1.4 million could be better spent.
We've got 2 comments in chat. Liam says Williams has lost his place, Dave, but Williams is actually playing right now, Liam, right this second. And It's Raw says Kante just got injured, so that automatically Azpilicueta is gone. I don't know if it's 100% of an injury. We'll obviously ask Ben in like half an hour. but yeah, no, Kante ruins that.
We have had a question from Sossington on Twitter who says, with some decent fixtures ahead and the addition of a creative outlet in Fernandez, is Martial worth holding, or are United too inconsistent? And actually, FPL Tips has mentioned Martial as well. We're on the theme of shit FPL players who we've kept hold of for too long.
He is up there, isn't he?
Martial's a relevant one within this theme, yeah. What do you reckon, Dave? Do you think that that the introduction of Bruno Fernandes does improve Martial's prospects?
Obviously he is a great player. I actually think he did really well. People who didn't, or people who punted on him for his first game week in the Premier League, it could have went better with a return, but he actually played so good, and I would immediately keep him just because of how the eye test went. He was really, really, really good. He's also playing further forward right now, although we're not watching the game. So I think that, yeah, he's a monster, and I think that Martial has definitely got, whoever's up there is going to benefit. The only problem, that I would say out of everything. Oh, do you not like that?
Oh, this is one of the worst beers I've ever tasted. Sorry, man. I'm trying to listen to what you're saying.
No, I would rather talk about this. Show us what it is.
No, you were making some really compelling points there. I've just subscribed to something called Beer 52, which I'm not on commission it sells you like a package of beer each month.
My girlfriend's on that. My girlfriend does that.
God, your girlfriend is just a gem, isn't she?
Yes.
So anyway, so I'm trying one of these, and it tastes like arse.
It tastes like a little bit of asshole. I know, I agree.
It's like Kurt Zoom.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so anyone who's going to be playing up front for Manchester United is going to benefit. However, the problem with Martial is that he's just shite. He's shite, and as soon as the coronavirus goes away, then it's going to be your ex.
Is he shy?
Player. He's pretty like he had the worst last game week I've ever seen a Manchester United striker play. He was awful. He did fuck all. Like actually fuck all. Like the opposite of a stoner.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like it's hard to say anything. Rashford is heavily missed. I think I don't know how to say his name. Is it Igalo? How do you say his name?
Igalo, yeah, that's fine.
I think he would be a better fucking pick than Martial. So yeah, no, I don't think I would want Martial. On top of that, though, Manchester United's fixtures in the short term aren't very good. So you would have a chance to get rid of Martial just now, go for someone awesome, and then they finish off the season really, really strong. If we just do game week 31 onwards, which I know is a long time to look forward, and of course we've got blanks and stuff to consider, but just as purely a fixture exercise, Manchester United are top in the last 8 game weeks, from game week 31 to game week 38. So I think I would probably get rid of them and then reassess back then, because in the future, because obviously we'll know what's happening with the FA Cup and the blanks and the double game weeks and all that shit, and then make your decision. I actually think Fernandes is a great shout as well. Because
do you?
Yeah, it just looks so good. I can't wait till I've got this game recorded. I can't wait to watch it back.
I'm so naturally opposed to new signings because I felt like Pepe looked fantastic as well when he first started in the Premier League, and he had a pedigree when he came to the Premier League that I felt was impressive and just didn't really cut the mustard. So I'm always naturally quite opposed to getting new signings until they've proved themselves. But that's why I miss the train a lot of the time. So there are positives and negatives to that approach.
Fair. Aria NK24 on chat says, Dave, could you review my team, please, and thank you. We did 80 teams in 80 minutes. It's got nearly 500 views on YouTube. So we are not going to be doing any more Rate My Teams for a little fucking while.
Yeah.
But we are going to be doing the whole Slack thing, and so if you want in on the Slack thing, remember you guys can DM me to be part of the beta testing team, and we'll probably fucking throw Rate My Teams in there. What do you think? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I did enjoy it. And if there's one thing we proved that day, it's that we're efficient when it comes to RMTs. So
we could do it in 10 seconds, mate. We'll do your team in 10 seconds.
Dave, we've got 8 minutes left of the stream, so I really want to get some more of these questions. We've had some really fantastic ones.
Okay.
One of which we've had Chappie FPL says, with Spurs utter dominance recently, I think that's generous towards Spurs. Is Son destroying? Is Son essential? Is what he's asking. We've talked about Son already, I guess, but he's saying no, seriously though. KDB to Son, is that the ravings of a lunatic or a decent shout with fixture swings? We've talked about that. Dave, you said you felt like it was a relatively decent move.
Yeah, it's annoying, but I mean, I can't see any reason why not to. Where are they? Fucking Spurs have Chelsea, Wolves, Burnley, Manchester United, West Ham, Sheffield United on our fixture tracker. Not the best, but like compared to other midfielders, there's only Liverpool. Kevin De Bruyne has worse fixtures. They actually have the worst for the next 6. So it makes sense to do it now and then bring back Man City. Excuse me. The only reason why I wouldn't do it is if there was a double in game week 29, and then I would probably do it after that.
Son has that quality as well, doesn't he? Where really, regardless of the team he's playing, he's always going to be capable. I should just acknowledge Chappie FPL. He was being sarcastic for Spurs' utter dominance. Yeah. I didn't see the wink until I got to the end of the sentence. Let's quickly acknowledge FPL_Dutchie's question. Okay. He says, "Do we really need premium strikers?" Dave, you own 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that question. I was scuffed.
Love this question though.
I can't find it.
Question. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, I forgot that you had them up in the stream as well.
I don't know where
There
it
we go.
is.
You've gone past it. Go back up slowly,
Oh, here we go.
slowly,
FPL. Oh, it's because
slowly.
his name's last. I got it. I got it. I got
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
it. Do we really need premium strikers? So, I I think that the only premium strikers that there really are, right? We can add Firmino and Vardy into that, right? So Vardy, no, not even Vardy, I would say. Firmino, I guess we can't add Firmino if we're not adding Vardy, but
Hmm.
like
It's all
Aguero.
Aubameyang and Aguero, really.
Aguero, he's Jesus and Aubameyang. Yeah. So do we need them? Absolutely not. Aguero's not essential. Aubameyang's not essential, especially the fact that they're blanking. If you have both of them like me, then I would keep one. But that's a really tough decision, especially since this double game week 29. If you're gonna get rid of both of them, I would say that there are a plethora of decent options out there. Ings, DCL if you're going to go for four more fixtures. Jimenez, fucking even Nikita if you want. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. Martinelli's going to be they're going to be swapping. That was a joke. Benteke, not a joke. There's so many good strikers out there that you could probably get for a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So I just don't think there's nothing wrong with doing that as long as you're spending the money on someone like Mane and Salah double up, or Son, Kevin De Bruyne, Salah, and a couple of decent defenders instead of just putting all your money into your bank. You have to actually have a plan to do something with it.
Okay, man, I like it a lot. If you scroll up past Sossington, you'll get to FPL Irons next, who asks about the curious case of Aubameyang. He says expensive, isn't being utilised correctly by Arteta. And has he ever been utilised correctly by his manager? It's interesting that, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's so consistent, says FPL Irons. It's a good point, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. Andy, I know I always throw his tweets up on the stream, and this is not going to be any different. There's a tweet that he did, I wish I fucking saved it, where he went through and just looked at all of the different times that Aubameyang has actually had on the left, or he's been up front or whatever, and the differences between his output. I'm not going to be able to find it, am I? You never find shit when you just scroll. My point is is that he actually has 5 goals in 5 appearances on the left. In his last 5. Striker has been doing well, obviously, and then he's also played on the right 3 times and he's scored 2 goals, something like that. He's actually really prolific no matter where he does, and he's kind of that kind of player where if you're gonna give him 90 minutes, he needs one chance, he'll probably score and get a couple bonus, and that's it. And he's been doing that forever. Yeah. So the fact that I brought him in and he got one header on or one shot on goal and it was a header and it went in, awesome. I actually got 2 shots, but yeah, he only needs a couple of chances to score, whereas Son's shot fucking 80 times and scored twice and nearly didn't score that penalty. So yeah, I do like Aubameyang a lot, but do you need him? No. I'm probably gonna get rid of him, and if I don't get rid of him, it's just because I've not got enough transfers.
Brill. All right, brilliant. Waz FPL asked, is Jimenez a must-have for his next bunch of games? We've kind of already addressed Wolves and their fixtures. Bear in mind Europe, Waz, I think, was the moral of the story as far as me and Dave are concerned. I want to finish on a response, actually not from your tweet, Dave. It's from the one that I put out. And it was from FPL Lieutenant. And he said, if your missus asks you to dress up as a footballer and role play before sex... The questions we get, man.
I love it.
Who would you dress up as and why?
If I was going to role play as a footballer, can I pick female footballers? Because if I'm going to dress up and role play, I want to role play as a female.
Oh, okay.
I don't know any of them. Just any of them. There you go. I'll do that. No, I'm kidding. Right? Let me pick an actual person, or let me think about it. Have you got the answer? Have you got your answer?
Well, there is no right or wrong here, Dave.
No, I know. But I want to.
Do I have an answer personally?
Yeah. Do you have an answer? Not what is the Guendouzi?
Guendouzi.
You could absolutely get your head in an afro and puff it up and sort it out. That'd be amazing. It's
always Guendouzi.
What is happening, Tom? He's in the stream. I appreciate you tuning in. What do we do with El Neni? He's such a rock. I absolutely agree. Keep him 100%. If your missus asks you to dress up as a footballer.
People have made light comparisons of me and Liverpool's goalkeeper Alisson.
Oh yeah, no. You look like most goalkeepers. Have you noticed that? You look like the Spurs keeper,
Hugo, I
Laurie.
wish I looked like Hugo Lloris.
You look like Laurie. But Alison right
Lloris,
now
well,
with
very continental, mate.
with your beard, definitely.
I mean, I don't think I look like either. I wish I did. I think my life would be much improved if I did. But I think there's maybe enough there that like a role play would not be completely unfeasible.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
You could
like,
just get like a keeper kit and get the
yeah.
goalie gloves.
If I'd chosen Kurt Zuma, there would need to be a real leap of faith there.
Or you could, you could black up, but that's not nice.
I mean, we don't want to go down that road.
Well, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, okay. So who would I want to do? Genuinely, I know that my girlfriend would probably want me to pick a top that she likes as opposed to the player. Like I could do whatever I want with my hair or anything like that, but if I pick like fucking yellow, like that, she's not gonna like it. I'll need to pick the color best, and her favorite color is burgundy, so it would be
James
Tarkowski, Barnes, Wood. Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah.
I'd go for a
Nice.
Burnley player. Absolutely.
All right, I like it. Let's try and cram in one last question from John Nellish, who is the host of the best Football Index podcast you can listen to. It's called High, Wide and Handsome. It's great. Lovely chap. He says, is a free hit for game week 31 a good idea, or would you try to save it for later? Dave, we're back to the chips, mate. The alternative is to start setting your team up now, I suppose. Game week 31, we know there's going to be a lot of blanks. Krellin has given us quite a high probability of maybe only 3 or 4 games being played that week. It's got to be your free hit week, right?
Yeah,
this is what the free hit was made for.
This is absolutely what it's made for. You could free hit with a double, but it's between getting a decent team out now in the blank or getting a decent team out in the double. And the difference is that a decent team in the double will have a lot of players that I have. Do you know what I mean? Like, or I would want to bring them in to my team, and they would probably benefit my team for the majority of the rest of the season. Whereas if I wanted to bring in players now, like fucking Wood and 3 Wolves players,
Bournemouth, exactly.
Like Watford players, then they're not going to benefit me. I'm going to want them out right away, and I'm going to have to spend the rest of the season trying to do that without a hit. So I would actually probably prefer that move if I had a wild card and I could wild card after game week 31, but I can't, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to free hit. Fuck it.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm exactly
sense, right?
the same, man. I'm exactly the same. Free hit's the way to go, I think, John. Cheers for your questions, everyone. Some great questions in there.
Perfect. And that's us done. Thank you very much for joining us in our first ever Monday with you. We will be back for game week 28 Monday after, I think, is when you're going to be back with us. So that'll be great. But until then...
sorry. I miss you.
I'll miss you too. But Holly's going to be joining us next Monday, hopefully. And that'll be quite good.
I can't wait to watch that.
You guys could
great.
fight to who gets on a Monday. That would be amazing.
I'm going to try and get in the chat and just throw some abuse at her.
No cafes, but just unless there's abuse to be had, and then you'll find a cafe.
I'll find a way.
Oh, that's so funny. Thank you everyone who's been in the chat, who's stuck by us during the Manchester United game. Hopefully next time we don't have to stream through a game. We'd quite like to have the viewership, to be honest, but it was awesome. And remember, if you want to be part of this Slack thing, because it's going to be amazing, because I'm the only one that contributes to our Fantasy Weekly fucking group chat. I'm always chatting. You guys never talk to me. It's so sad. It's so sad. No, I'm just kidding. But it's gonna be like that, but everyone, and it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be so funny. I can't wait. So hit me up if you want to test it, and I'll send you the link. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Can I talk yet?
It's funny because you can't hear. You've muted the stream, so you don't know what the fuck is happening. So
No,
that's
I've got
why you
no
always talk through.
Am I talking over something right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're done. So I'm gonna get a bye, guys. Thanks very much for watching. See you. And we're gone.